I got a 17-year-old now, not to his younger brother, who's a monster, right? It feels like the Epstein files without the, you know, the sex, right? I'm getting their powers through sparring and training.
I don't know about all that.
MMA fans, Basement Breakdown here. We are back with a new episode. I think I have filmed this about 5 times. Yeah, I can't really just, I can't get it right, and I'm overthinking. I also sometimes have a little trouble speaking one-on-one with the camera. But we're going to get it done this time. All right, first off, UFC 322. Banger card. We crowned a new welterweight champ in Islam Makhachev. We predicted the main event and co-main event to a T, basically. I'm happy with it, but I would have liked to see, perhaps, different outcomes. I would have liked to see more exciting fights, but that's not necessarily the opponent's fault. Islam was super dominant. Valentina Shevchenko did what I thought she was going to do and win a dominant decision, impose her size, take Zhang Weili down, which is exactly what she did. We talked about, or we predicted Carlos Prates, the TKO over Leon Edwards. This is a very unforgiving sport, MMA. Anything can happen. You can go from being on a 13-fight win streak, knocking out Kamaru Usman, being champion of the world, defending your title, to being on a 3-fight losing streak and, almost being out of the rankings in the welterweight division. And I don't mean to talk shit, it's just a crazy sport. It was a great card. I didn't predict Sean Brady getting KO'd by Michael Morales. Bo Nickel beat Rodolfo Vieira a couple seconds away from my my bet, so that sucked. But yeah, it was a great card and really shook up the welterweight division. I'm really excited to see what's next for a lot of these guys. I don't think that Islam should fight Ilia Topuria yet, though I do think it is the most enticing matchup the UFC can make. I think that there are fights in their divisions that they got to take care of first, especially after last weekend, and also this weekend too, which we're about to talk about. But yeah, I think Islam has some interesting matchups in the welterweight division. I think Ilia Topuria will have someone to fight after this weekend, and then you can, next fight or something like that. I just think there needs to be a little bit more. Build it up a little bit more. These guys aren't going anywhere just yet, and I think that's going to be a big fight no matter what, and these guys are just they're going to keep winning. I don't really see guys who are going to be able to beat them, but I see guys who they should fight before fighting each other. I don't think it's fair to just... Anyways, enough about UFC 322. We are here to talk about Dan Hooker versus Arman Tsarukyan. UFC Qatar. All right, let's start it off in the heavyweight division. Marco Bujlo goes up against Denzel Freeman. Bujlo is undefeated, 6-0, and then Denzel Freeman is 6-1, I believe. He has 1 split decision loss. This is heavyweight MMA for our first fight of the night. I think Denzel Freeman will be able to TKO and beat Merrick. Bujlo. This is because he has a win over Asplund, who was on the Contender Series, which I think is the most prolific win out of any of these two guys' records. I don't know. I feel like Denzel Freeman has fought the better opponent in Asplund. I looked at their records. Merrick, I don't want to say has been, gifted his wins, but it's regional heavyweight MMA. He's 6-0, but the guys who he's fighting aren't necessarily great. I looked at whatever I could. I think Bujlo perhaps was a favorite at one point during the week, but the money seemed to move because Denzel Freeman's almost a -200. I think he's going to get the TKO in the first round. We're going with Denzel Freeman to start off the card. We move up to Shamrock versus Narulo Aliev. Fulchan Shamrock lad. Fulchan, yeah, he trains out of the same gym as Paddy Pimblett. Yeah, probably the best gym in the UK. He's a good fighter. This is his debut in the UFC, but He goes up against Nurulio Aliev, and Aliev's a good fighter. He fought, was it Rafael Alves? That's his closest fight. Yeah, Rafael Alves, and he was 22 years old when he fought him. Yeah, this is a tough first fight for Shamrock. I think this is going to go over 2.5, and it's going to go to a decision. Maybe there's some money on an underdog pick for Shamrock. But fuck, lad, I don't think he's going to be able to do it, lad. I think it's tough for your fucking debut in the UFC fighting a guy like this. So, all the best to him. I wish him luck. And, yeah, I think Aliev's going to win a decision. Might bet on it. We'll see. We move up to the middleweight division. Ismail Naurdiev fights Ryan Loder. Ismail Naurdiev is like a slight favorite, like minus 140 or something like that. Ryan Loder, what can I say about you, buddy? Almakhan and Robert Valentin on the resume. He has a win against Valentin. That doesn't age well because Valentin seemingly becomes a cakewalk for everybody he fights in the UFC. Oezdemir, it's aged a little bit poorer now that he got beat by, what's his name last time? Yusri Belgouri, the kickboxer, dude who fought the Contender Series debut in the UFC, beat Oezdemir. Bakoyev knocked out Ryan Loder in the first round, hurt him bad, knocked him down twice before getting him out of there. Yeah, the Valentin and the Oezdemir performance, and I got that versus Ismail Naurdiev, who's fought Jung Young Park last time out. Close, like not close, but like he lost a unanimous decision, decently competitive, was able to, you know, get a takedown, do some stuff. Ikram Malaskarov had a very competitive fight with Jung Young Park. I think Jung Young Park's very good. I rate a lot of the opponents that I see here. I think Ismail Naurdiev will be able to beat Ryan Loder, if not by decision, then by TKO, but we're going to go with a 29-28 decision for Ismail Naurdiev, who is the slight favorite, and we move up the card. All right, our next fight, we have Alexandre Topuria in the bantamweight division versus Beksot Almakhan. This is a pick'em. Alexandre Topuria's last time out, he fought Colby Thickenese, pause, whatever. Who Colby fought, when they fought, it was on short notice. Colby came in short notice. It was pretty, you know, not like one-sided. The first 2 rounds or whatever, like some flashy moments for Alexandre. The 3rd round, Colby had his best moments and was able to, I don't know, he looked okay at the 3rd round, but, you know, he lost the decision to Topuria, and who's the brother, obviously, of Ilia Topuria. I don't even need to say that. Older brother, I believe. Colby Thickenese fought Mushasa last time out, which was another boring fight that he didn't look too good, even though he won. What can I do here? Beksot Almakhan fought Brad Katona, and then he knocked down Umar Nurmagomedov in the 1st round, I remember, in his first fight in the UFC, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, he proceeded to get taken down and dominated, but he survived. And, you know, he has that knockdown. And he's only fought once since then against Brad Katona. And I can't do it. I can't pick Topuria based off the hype. I picked him against his last opponent, not really thinking too much about it. But I'm not picking him against Beksot. It is a pick'em fight. I think the odds should reflect that a little differently. But I'm going to go with Beksot. He could finish the boy or could win a decision. If it goes to the ground, I'm really inclined to go with Beksot Almakhan. He's almost got twice as many fights as Alexandre Topuria. Topuria's 6 fights, or 7 or something like that. And then Beksot's got like 12 or 13, so I don't know. I think there's something to say about that there as well. We move up the card, Beksot Almakhan by decision. Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev versus Rafael Cerqueira. Rafael Cerqueira, oh my god, Abdul's like a minus 1500. Yeah, I don't trust Rafael Cerqueira. Abdul has a win on the Contender Series where he won via TKO, and Rafael Cerqueira, well, he's lost to Julius Walker, Modestus Bukauskas, who's a good fighter. Ibo Aslan, who that's age kind of shit considering his most recent performances. Oh, yeah. No way. Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev is going to TKO this motherfucker in the first round. So that's what we're going to go with. First round TKO for Abdul. And yeah, that's insane, those odds. Alex Perez versus Almabayev. Almabayev last time out. What are the odds for this fight, first off? Minus 195 for Almabayev. Yeah, that makes good sense. Almabayev's last time out, he fought Jose Ochoa, where I took Jose Ochoa in that fight because I thought the power, perhaps the striking would be too much for Almabayev, and his takedown defense would be a bit better. And, you know, Jose Ochoa had his moments in that fight, but Almabayev only has one loss to Manel Kape. I have that. I had my channel when that card took place, and I predicted Manel Kape by third round TKO, which is what happened. I didn't, however, predict the eye pokes leading up to it, but Almabayev is going to win this fight. I could see him finishing the fight by submission, but I'm going to go with a dominant 30-27 or maybe a 29-28, but 30-27 Almabayev over Alex Perez. Yeah, Alex Perez last time out, he fought Taisu Taira. He's always like, his last one was against Mateusz Nicolau, which I think Mateusz Nicolau got removed from the UFC while still being like ranked, which is pretty crazy. I think he was like, but regardless, that was his last win. He's got losses to a lot of dudes. Taira, Yakhyaev, Pantoja. Also, Yakhyaev is probably going to be coming back to the UFC, which is good. He got that brave UFC title or whatever over that dude. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Yeah. Almabayev, unanimous decision. Okay, Sagid Izagakhmaev or Nicholas Dalby. Nicholas Dalby got TKO'd by Randy Brown. Like he's got wins against Gabriel Bonf. Like Fim, is he the only dude to beat him, which is pretty good. Oh, but Nicholas Dalby's been TKO'd a bit in his career recently, and the guy who's fighting fought in Championship 1, and then he fought a Muay Thai legend, I think, last time out, and I fucking can't remember his name, and I'm sorry, but someone in the comments can put it out there. He did fight a Muay Thai legend who was a little older, I believe, in his career, but that happened last time out. Now he's going to fight in the UFC. Oh, I think he's going to be able to knock out Nicholas Dalby. I think Nicholas Dalby's a little older, and his chin is a little suspect. He is only, however, one fight removed from being in a very close decision with Renat. And then before that, he was on a good streak, beating Gabriel Bonfim, Muslim Sahilikov, Warley Alves, Claudio Silva. Close fights with Tim Means. He's a tough dude. Really tough, but I'm worried after that Randy Brown TKO. But there's, again, one fight removed from arguably a win for him against Renat. I remember that fight. Perhaps he was robbed because of where that took place. Regardless, I can't. Nicholas Dalby, I'm sorry, but I am going to go with, oh man, Sagid Izagakhmaev by TKO, and we're going to take that in the second round. Bogdan Grad goes against Luke Riley, who's undefeated. I like Bogdan Grad. I think his last fight was against Muhammad Naimov. Close fight, honestly. I think he could have won that fight. Before that, he has a win against Lucas Alexander. Michael Aspel Jr., he's lost to Tom Nolan on the Contender Series. Luke Riley's making his debut. This is a tough fight for Luke Riley. From what I've seen from Luke Riley as far as footage, he has a chin. Like, he gets wobbled in a lot of his fights, and then he's able to come back and TKO or finish the guy. More recently, he's been doing a lot less of that, and he's been able to, like, win more dominantly from what I've seen, but I'm fucking worried. This is a tough fight. This is a tough fight. It's a minus 260 favorite for Riley, and I'm going to go with the underdog pick of Bogdan Grad by TKO. Perhaps Lucas can do some work in the clinch is what I've seen from him. Like, he could be, there are things that he could do, and perhaps I'm just going to be dead flat wrong about this, but I like this underdog pick of Bogdan Grad. So I'm going to perhaps dash a little bit of something on that. Yeah, we're going to go with a Bogdan Grad TKO over Riley. Okay, Tagir Ulanbekov fights, I don't want to butcher his name, Kyoji Horiguchi, who hasn't fought since 2016, but I believe his only loss in the UFC was to Demetrius Johnson for the title. So this is his second stint in the UFC, and he goes up against Tagir Ulanbekov in Qatar. I feel like he's probably going to lose a decision. Tagir gets in very, very close fights where he arguably should lose. His only loss is to Tim Elliott, who recently beat Cerqueira. Guy still got it for sure. But Tagir Ulanbekov is a minus 195 favorite. I'm going to take him by decision over Horiguchi. It's a tough fight. Horiguchi's very good, and I'm interested to see how he's going to look at this point. It's been a long time, almost a decade since he's fought, so in the UFC. So I'm worried, but he's definitely a legend. There's a lot of fights on this card that are well put together, and it's very stacked. I feel like as most of these cards, when they take place here or in Abu Dhabi, they're very stacked, and I'm really excited for this. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Goes up against the Blob Gaziv. Was Gaziv's last fight against Thomas freaking who was his last fight against? Shamil Gaziv. Yeah, Thomas Peterson, and then Dontel Mays, and then he lost to Jarinza Rosenstrike. Martin Boudais beat Greg Valesco on the Contender Series. Sergey Spivak, last time out, he fought Waldo Cortez Acosta, where I picked Waldo in that fight. It was a close fight. I thought that, Waldo won, which he did. He was able to outstrike him. Close fight, though. Sergey Spivak's last win came against... I remember who it is, but to save us all the time, I'm going to just mess it. Yeah, Martin Tybura. And since then, lost to Jonathan Almeida, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Before that, Cyril Gain. Thing is he's only fought the best of the best. They seem to give guys, like Cyril Gain fought Sergey Spivak on his comeback. Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Spivak, I believe, his first fight on his comeback. He's used as like a stepping stone for like contenders and champions, and Cyril Gain's pretty good. I mean, this is tough. Like Sergey Spivak has a much better resume than Shamil Gaziv, and their physiques are both tremendous. But I'm gonna go with the slight favorite, Shamil Gaziv. I think this will go over 1.5 rounds. I think Shamil Gaziv could get the TKO. However, I do think more likely than not it'll go to a decision where we'll be in a position, 29-28 Shamil Gaziv. And I think that'll put him in the rankings. It's tough though. Sergey Spivak could just win this fight for the reasons I said. He's just fought much better guys, and this will be a test for the Blob, for Bob.
Hi, I'm benzoate ostelazine bicarbonate, or you can call me Bob, whichever's easier. Did I?
From, Monsters and Aliens or whatever that movie is. Anyways, next, Jack Hermansson goes up against Mitek Orolbai. Both dudes switching divisions. Jack Hermansson's moving down from 185 after suffering a TKO loss to Gregory Rodriguez. And Mitek Orolbai usually fights at 155, and he's moving up to fight at 170 welterweight. But he's 5'10". He's a decently, big dude. Jack Hermansson's a little taller. This is an interesting fight. Jack Hermansson's a plus 210 underdog to Mitek Orolbai is minus 260. This is a tough fight. I think I really do like Mateusz Rebecki's the only loss for Mitek Orolbai was to Rebecki. You have to consider that these guys are very different as far as their resumes because of the divisions in which they typically fight. So it's hard for me to compare opponents sometimes. Like Uros, I would Uros Medved face against Jack Hermansson, probably not well. But this is an older Jack Hermansson who's probably moving down to be a little faster, see what else he's got. So I'm expecting either a Mitek Orolbai. I think this is going to go to a decision, honestly. Good fight, I feel like. 29-28, Mitek Orolbai. Or honestly, there could be some money here in a Jack Hermansson decision. I'm just going to go with Mitek Orolbai because I do think that's what's more likely to happen. But fuck me, there's a little tingle inside me that says Jack Hermansson decision. It's just because the guy's moving down and he's 2 weight classes above usually. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Volkan Oezdemir goes up against Alonzo Menifield. Volkan fought Carlos Uberg, lost last time out in a very close decision. Tit for tat. Could have gone either way. Alonzo Menifield fought Umar Sari last time out and was able to, I think, give him his first loss. But yeah, Alonzo Menifield's old. Volkan's a little old too. He's a minus 235. Alonzo Menifield's a great fighter. Honestly, he's been, in the light heavyweight division. He's been in the UFC for a while. He's got some notable wins for sure. He's beat one of my boys, Justin Jacoby. I think Volkan Oezdemir, however, is going to be able to box him up. And he could TKO him, but I think it'll go to a decision. Unanimous decision for Volkan Oezdemir over Alonzo Menifield. Alonzo's tough. This brings us to the co-main. The bully Bilal Muhammad takes on Ian Machado Gary. As I was saying, mixing up the division a little bit more. This is a huge fight, possibly a #1 contender fight. Guy who's fighting next for the belt. Bilal Muhammad, former champ, lost the belt to JDM, who just lost it to Islam, who's boys with Bilal. Machado's gonna win. It's just how this is gonna all work. It's just how it has to work, really. Bilal Muhammad's very good. I mean, he took the belt off of Leon Edwards. He was on a very long win streak. And yeah, he goes up against Ian Machado Gary. His last fight was against Carlos Prates. He did very well in the fight until he got, in some trouble in the 5th round, but that's not how you win a fight. He was able to, score more rounds than Prates. And Ian Gary's only loss is to Shavkat Rakhmonov, where he lost a round to him. He was able to bank 2 rounds, I believe, on verdict. Or that's the DA thing. I also remember that fight. He won 2 rounds. So he could have, if he won 1 more round, he wins the fight. Very close. Only loss. Bilal Muhammad's going to struggle. Ian Machado Gary has good takedown defense. He's very elusive. He's fast. He's got good striking. He's very lengthy. He's a favorite, almost minus 270. I think that's changed since the last time I've looked at it. I think Bilal Muhammad will be able to survive, but I do think that Ian Machado Gary is going to be able to win a decision over Bilal Muhammad. 29-28. Bilal says he's going to keep it on the feet and he's going to box him and take him down, let him back up and do whatever he wants, but I don't know about all that. I think Ian Machado Gary has got this. So I think he's going to get it done via decision, 29-28. And honestly, if he wins this fight, this puts him in a very good position to fight for a title. And like I said, Islam has a ton of guys now at the disposal for him to fight that are just interesting matchups. Like an Ian Gary versus Islam. It's not quite McGregor versus Khabib, but it is kind of like new generation McGregor versus Khabib. It's like there was, like, I don't know, when your favorite show has like a legacy season or something like that, or there's just a sequel that's maybe just like not as great, but it's okay. Maybe like Picard, I guess, if you're a Star Trek fan for a bit. Anyways, regardless. Ian Gary, 29-28. And main event. Arman Tsarukyan goes up against Dan the Hangman Hooker. Tough fight. Dan Hooker's last time out, he fought Mateusz Gamrot. He's on like a 3-fight win streak, I believe. It's been a while. He's broke his hand like 1,000 times. Super likable guy, Dan Hooker. He showed good takedown defense against Mateusz Gamrot last time out, who has beat Arman Tsarukyan. But if you watch that fight, Arman Tsarukyan definitely beat Mateusz Gamrot. It was interesting, but good scrambles, great wrestling. Good, like, it was a very fun fight to watch, and it was very high level grappling. So definitely not boring by any sense of the word, but Arman Tsarukyan's last time out, he fought Charles Oliveira, and he was supposed to fight the champ Islam Makhachev for the title, but guy hurt his back one day out, so Makhachev stepped in. And he's been waiting this time, and now he's got to fight someone before they give him Topuria, and it's Dan Hooker, the guy who stepped in to fight him. I like Arman Tsarukyan. I like his ground and pound. He got some of it off versus Charles Oliveira. I think he'll find a way to finish Dan Hooker in the 3rd round or so. Dan Hooker doesn't fucking come to play. He's going to go out there and he's going to do what he wants. So I think Arman Tsarukyan's going to do the same. I think he'll find a way to finish Dan Hooker. This is going to go 5 rounds. This fight's scheduled for 5 rounds. It's not going to go 5 rounds. Arman Tsarukyan's going to finish Dan Hooker at some point in the 3rd. And those are my predictions. I'm going to throw up my parlays. Just like I'll leave like a couple seconds right now. Just for them. Just for them to go up here. We'll make 2 for this card because I want to keep it safe. And yeah, guys, thank you for joining me for another episode. I'll be back with some more stuff. I think I'm going to be filming with my dad soon. And we've got some Championship 1 content coming out for you as always with the Gambling Phenom. Thank you so much. Good luck on your picks. Let's go.